Lunch Money Lambert, Jeff Malott. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation, where we talk about fishing and competition. It's your boy Ox Pippin, aka Ox Fishing. Don't come over here tripping. Hey, hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kayak Bass
are.
Nation. Yeah, man. What's up, Brian?
Back again. I'm in the dark closet of inventory.
Inventory closet. Hey, that's all
Yeah.
right. Stay in that closet, brother.
I'm trying.
We got a lot to get to tonight. We got people trickling in on Facebook and YouTube. As you guys saw, we got Brock Miller on the cover photo for the announcement tonight, holding a big old redfish. And you may not even think this is Kayak Bass Nation. Well, we got this fella on here for.
That's true.
But Brock crosses over. He does dip his toe into bass fishing a little bit. And the main thing is they are killing the content game over on TikTok. I wanted to say TikTok.
You got it in your blood, Papa.
Yeah, and other platforms. And also, he's involved in the saltwater tournament fishing down in Louisiana, and we're going to talk about some of the crossover issues between bass fishing and the inshore stuff there. So it's going to be a fun night. Brock's a good guy, good young. I was going to say kid because I've known him a while, but he's not a kid anymore. He's a solid young man, great angler, and fine young businessman too.
And we
So
want
good.
this to be pretty interactive. So anybody that has questions or comments on content creation, YouTube shorts, TikToks, that kind of thing, throw them out there. See if you can learn you up something today.
Yeah, help us help you. Isn't that saying right?
That is it. And tonight, doing a like and share contest, we have Seaguar on board. They're going to send you a couple spools of their Tactex braid. And then Brock was kind enough to throw in a gift card from Louisiana Custom Kayaks. So thank you for that. We love when guests bring gifts.
That's right. We should make that a requirement from now on.
We should, instead of us giving out, what was it? Power poles to get YouTubers on, we can have our guests bring gifts.
Yeah. So we like to sprinkle this in every once in a while with a little different flavors. Since there wasn't a big tournament this weekend, we wanted to talk a little content creation and some other stuff, and we love to give back to you guys that help us so much. So Seaguar giveaway, all you got to do, like and share on Facebook, like and comment on YouTube. Make sure you like the actual video and comment under the video, not the in the chat, and that'll help us, and we'll help you with the big giveaway. It's going to be fun. We'll do that at the end of the show, of course, with the magic super secret word hashtags.
Josh Evans back on Bangtail.
Bangtail. Hashtag Bangtail.
He's all about that. He doesn't know what he won last week, so we're gonna have to square that up for young Joshua. But thank you, Josh, for the hashtag.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But before we get Brock in here, we got to get to the news of the week. Of course, we'll talk about our sponsors here in a minute, but news of the week, man. A couple things. One, last week I mentioned how the registration for Hartwell was looking kind of paltry.
Yeah.
And then you turn around
clean
and
missed
boom,
on that one.
boom. We up there like 165, 170 anglers for Hartwell. So it's looking good. You going to that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got to support my boy, man. We can't let this thing sink,
Yeah. So Bass keeps the positive momentum rolling. You never know with that, how that's going to go. Sometimes they start strong and fade, but not this time. It's rolling.
Did you see the email from Bass, their updated rules and examples today?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So, there was a lot of confusion, on the communication side of the rules. And I talked to Steve about it. And actually we had this kind of come up due to our podcast last week. We had Vinny on. He was talking about giving a guy a bait, just dropping it off in his kayak or whatever. Well, of course, the DMs blow up. Is that legal? Blah, blah, blah. It is legal because he talked to the TD about it. But then that brings on the question, well, if that's legal, then what's illegal? Like, what can you not do if you can give a guy that, that you're catching fish on your magic bait or whatever? So basically, what this says is you can communicate with people that you're sharing water with. So if somebody goes by you and they're like, "Hey, man, you wearing them out or whatever," you can respond to that. Y'all can have a conversation. You can share as much as you want to as the angler. Now, they can't solicit information from you. So they can't ask specifically, "What are you catching them on?" or whatever. And if you're, talking to your friends or whatever during the tournament via electronic communication, you can't talk about, if you're catching them, how you're catching them, that kind of thing. So there was some clarification put into that, and it's to kind of still keep the camaraderie. And I gave Steve these examples, like in these tournaments, you may be fishing next to somebody and you feel like you can't talk to them. Like you feel like it's against the rules to communicate with that person. And that kind of takes the fun out of it, right? Like you're fishing a cove with somebody. It's fun to take about 5 minutes and, relax a little bit, crack a couple jokes and keep on going without your day. So, that's the move now. Is there's a lot more clarification. I think there needed to be a lot more clarification. It didn't seem like there was really a yes or no on what was illegal and not illegal, and we've had a couple instances that have came up so far this year. So hats off to Steve for moving the needle on that one.
There we go. What I take from that is that young Edwin could have reached over and grabbed Jordan's reel and said, "Hey,
quit reeling that
damn thing, and you're going to catch him."
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. And I figured that this year with the changes, there's going to be some learning that went on in the middle of the season, and that's what's happening. So
always is. But glad to see Bass giving Steve the latitude to adjust midstream and not just be hard line on it and kind of make it tougher on everybody. So good job.
Always good to adjust midstream, especially at my age. Right. Let's see what else. What happened this week? Of course, the elephant in the room, I guess. KBF has now canceled another event.
Why they gotta be an elephant?
I don't know. It's the first thing that came to mind. That's two events basically back to back. 2 this month canceled. So, what the hell's happening over there, Ryan? What do we know?
That no one's fishing it.
Yeah,
the Michigan trail pulled out on St. Clair. It was like, we don't want to mess with you no more. And then our Oklahoma just said, "Nah, we're good. Like nobody's going to sign up for this." And you said like the local presence, like as far as the clubs go, average like what 90 anglers per tournament or something, and 5 were signed up. So
yeah,
I mean, it happens, Yeah,
I mean, this last one was on Grand Lake, which is hour and a half from me, just right up the road here.
Mm-hmm.
The Oklahoma kayak anglers, Luck Arian, that's been on a few times, and Sean Accord, proud reps of the Res over there.
The Res, baby.
They all kind of help stir the straw that stirs the drink over in Oklahoma, and they've been killing it this year, averaging 90, 95 anglers a tournament in their local events, and not very many of them were signing up for that event, weren't interested, and they pulled the plug on it. So, be interested to see where they go from here. I know there's a couple more that are.
Hats off to the Res boys, man. Y'all keep doing your thing out there. But, we've talked about this. Fishing tournaments are a business. The anglers are the customers. You got to treat your customers right. Part of that is, being transparent and paying upfront and on time. You have the money up front. There's no reason why the money should be anywhere else except in the angler's hands. So good job.
Yeah. Very strange. We'll see where it goes from here. I don't know. Are we looking at the end of this, the complete reorg of this? I'll be curious to see how it all shakes out.
How much cash we got in the KBN account? You wanna swing a tournament series?
Yeah, I got a few stickers I could probably sell. We can put something together, Ryan. I don't know.
Deal. We'll do it.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll be curious to see how that goes. We got people saying North Texas pulling 90 per event. Okay, now here's the deal. The Oklahoma group will still be at Grand on April 22nd. If you're in the area and wanting to go fish a tournament on Grand, they're still going to have one. And it'll probably have 90 anglers, good payouts, and they pay within a week. So,
boom,
they go sign up. Oklahoma kayak anglers, good stuff.
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you want. What else went down? Anything else? Did I see Joe Kirk won an event somewhere over your way?
Yeah, TVKA, TVKA special. It was tough weather out here this weekend. It got cold. It was windy. I had a couple buddies in town playing a show in Chattanooga, and I took them out on the big boat to smallmouth fish. and we had been catching like 25 pounds a day all week last week. And we got out there, and granted, they lost about 4.5, 5 pounders, but they landed, I think, like 4 smallmouth between the two of them, which is kind of on the very low end of the spectrum there at the honey hole.
I meant to say something about you and your daughter, man. The stuff you're putting up on
Dude,
socials.
we smoked them.
Y'all got them, man.
She last year she lost a smallmouth about 6.5 pounds, and it's kind of been in her craw for the last year. So she got back from the beach Wednesday. She's like, "Come pick me up. We're fishing in the morning." We got up Thursday morning and went out there, and she got a big bite, and she's like, "Oh no!" I said, "What?" She's like, "Dad, it's not a rock." And the line started swimming. This huge fish comes flying out of the water, landed it like a pro. She's got it down now, so hopefully she'll stick with it a little bit.
Yeah, did I even see you had her do a little dugout commercial?
She's like, "Dad, we caught these big fish." She's like, "Can I do like a dugout commercial?" And I was like, "Yeah, girl, come on with it."
You did it. You did.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That was good. Hey, that's a perfect segue to our sponsors, man. Dugout Bait and Tackle, presenting sponsor. Appreciate them. They're still rigging stuff out right and left. I see photos flying out there of people in the rigs. I saw some discussion about, how much is too much and these rigs are getting expensive. It is what it is, man. People are trying to level up their game with all these electronics and different equipment.
I mean, we were fishing for what, $2,500 5 or 6 years ago. Now we're fishing for 10 grand. So, I mean, it's a sliding scale as the more money goes up that you can win. I feel like the more money you're going to spend on your vessel to do that in.
Yeah.
Within the rules is also going to go with it.
Yeah. I mean, as entry fees go up, people are going to push the envelope. And if you're going to rig it up, don't try to piece it together yourself. Take it to an expert like Dugout. And even our guy Brock that we're going to have on here in a minute. They do similar stuff down in Louisiana way. So we'll talk to him about that too. Pro Guide Lithium. If you're going to rig it up with all the fancy electronics, you got to have batteries that aren't going to fail on you. So get you some Pro Guides, code KBN. Revo, Z-Man, help us with giveaways. Bangtail, our newest sponsor, Ryan.
Having dinner with Brandon Bean tomorrow night to discuss his play into the kayak fishing world. I think we're going to do some booths at some select tournaments and have, some contests, giveaways, of course, samples of the whiskey. So love having them on board.
There we go. How are they on the political realm? Are we going to see any weird political stances?
Florida, baby. Red.
We're good. We're good. Yeah, we love our sponsors. We appreciate them. They help us put out this content we put out and also help you guys for, we wouldn't be anything without y'all watching, and we're able to give you guys back prizes and have a good time with the show. So good stuff.
Hey, you better be starring these comments. We got some good stuff over there in the hot box I see coming through.
Why am I seeing LeBron James on a good morning?
That's one of the only 2 LeBron fans. Both of them happen to be last name Allen.
Yeah.
But they're a big fan. They're a big fan of LeBron because much like the Allen's fishing career, it's just a lot of it's on paper, not in reality. Van Tyne brought a Pro Guide. Thank you, Van Tyne. He reached out for some info on batteries. I'll let him know Pro Guide honors their warranty quickly and as a sealed battery. So
there we go.
It's got two attributes you want in a battery for sure.
Good stuff. With all that said, man, Brock's been waiting patiently.
Let's
giggling at our goofiness. Let's get him in here real quick. What's up? Brock Miller, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming on.
Man. I appreciate y'all having me on. I know we've talked about it for a little while, and I know I've fished with you, Jeff. I hadn't fished with Ryan yet. We're going to make that happen this fall. But yeah, I appreciate it.
I'll do it in the fall. I'm not doing it in the spring. I about froze to death down there with them Cajuns.
No, we'll take you in the fall. It'll be probably 90 degrees in October. And we'll catch some bull reds for sure.
All right, I'm down.
So Ryan,
I need shrimp and a popping cork. Ain't that what y'all use in tournaments down there?
You can throw a granola bar down there and they'd eat it.
So let me tell you a little story, Ryan, about Brock. Years ago, I went to Ride the Bull down at Grand Isle, the big kayak tournament down there, with one Dwayne Wally. I met up with him, and he knew Brock, and he introduced me to Brock. And before the tournament, we went out fishing in the marshes down there. I'd never caught a redfish, didn't know what I was doing. I was told this young hot shot could get me on one. And by God, this kid got me on my very first redfish, Ryan.
Oh, it was a hammer.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, I see your skills don't just stay in freshwater,
Yes,
Jeff.
that's
That's
right. I can
amazing.
catch 12-inch fish anywhere, anytime.
It was a bad day. It was 2 feet higher than it should have been. I catch fish there all the time, and that's what he pulls out of
I
there.
don't know if I should ask, but what did that thing eat?
It
I
was
don't even
a
remember.
it was a
A
popping cork
fly?
deal.
A tiny
it was,
fly?
It was on a cork, on a little swim bait on under a cork.
Whew.
But
All right.
redemption. The next day, he put me on good stuff for the tournament. Actually, netted me some bait and let me have it for my cooler, and I did catch like a 20-pound bull red. So
There you
It was a
go.
good
All right,
one.
that's better.
actually
then.
laying one in
Yeah.
the tournament. So
A
he
little bit
hooked me up.
better.
Redemption.
Redeemed ourselves.
Yeah. So that was hilarious. Awesome stuff. And I've been wanting to get back to fish with you ever since then, Brock, but it hadn't happened. Although I did run into you at a bass tournament. I think we crossed paths on Lake Fork.
That's right.
not too
Yeah.
long ago.
I had no idea what I was doing out there, but ended up seeing a guy pedaling around and ran into you out there. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we were just out there in the middle of nowhere. And there
We're
we
getting
were.
a lot of salty crossovers now coming. I mean, Brian Nelly's probably the most notable. I feel like that's came over from the salt game. He's a little further down in Florida, but man, he jumped on the scene and he was consistent starting out anyway. But now he's consistently at the top instead of just cashing a check. He's winning the things.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think a lot of it transfers over. I mean, I always say that the bass world is, 2 or 3 years ahead of saltwater in just about every category, like electronics and baits and, just across the board, especially rigging kayaks as well. You hardly see, forward facing sonar on saltwater boats, much less kayaks, but, half the field in bass has it now. So I think guys who nail down the bass stuff when they come over to saltwater, they typically can do pretty well too. So, but there's a few that go from salt to fresh and do well.
In your opinion, are saltwater fish dumber?
It depends on the fish.
None of the fish watch this show, so you can tell us the truth.
Yeah, I mean, redfish, like I said, you can catch them on anything. People get super technical about it, but I've like for sight fishing, I've got a gallon Ziploc bag of every color crawl you could have, and I reach my hand in there, pull out a random one, throw it on, and they'll eat it. Same thing with bull reds; they'll eat anything. Trout, though, that's one thing I've gotten a lot more into is speckled trout fishing, just because it's more technical. It's more like bass fishing, in my opinion. It's attention to detail and present your bait right, and there's a lot more that goes into it. So
Is
I'd
that
say
to catch
trout.
the big ones or to catch numbers? Because I see my buddies, they got a camp down at Grand Island. They'll send
Oh,
me a
yeah.
center console boat that is completely full of like 75 trout in the first 2 hours of the day. And I'm like, is this hard? Like, what are y'all doing?
That's Louisiana for you. They go out and brag about catching 75 12-inch trout, and it drives
Millions.
me crazy. I'd rather go out and get 5 bites, and they'll all be big ones. But we got plenty of guys that they pride themselves on filling a cooler. So
How do y'all still have fish left? Y'all eat the hell out of everything you catch.
I'm asking the same thing, and I've talked about it on other podcasts before, and it lights up a fire of people who say they do it to eat and put food on the table, and they go down that road. And it's, to me, it's 2023. We can throw a few back and try to catch a few bigger ones, but some people, they live off of fishing apparently. So
I guess
if we want to open that can of worms, we definitely can, and we could get some people fired up about it.
Do you think we would have riots if we held a bass tournament and ate the fish at the end of the tournament?
Absolutely. But down here,
we should do it one.
we
We should do it one time. Just
down here,
not in the spawn.
When with the COVID year, when we started doing CPR, like the biggest question was, can we keep the fish?
I know this is CPR, but if we cut out the R,
Yeah,
we'd
have
It's
to put
cook photo
releasing
released.
is recommended.
Gosh,
Dude, it's
that's wild.
ridiculous. But that's just Louisiana. It's the salt. Like I said, the saltwater world is always a couple years behind bass fishing, and then Louisiana is like 4 more years behind that. So when it comes to motors, we're talking about that earlier. Give us till about 2030, and we'll put motors in play.
So some context to KBN that didn't see what happened on the Bayou Coast page. They were going to allow motors for this one tournament. And
there was
brains started frying everywhere. Like, you ain't doing no motors. That's too big of an advantage. And it's like, you can rig up a motor for like $250, dude. Like, what?
Yeah. Like everybody's like, oh, I don't have $3,000 for a Torpedo or whatever. And
Yeah. So don't buy a Torpedo. Like, I mean, come on.
Go to Academy and get a deep cycle marine battery, and you can have a motor on your
But you
kayak.
got a lot of guys that still paddle and fish that really shallow
Yeah,
marsh stuff that they're not even using a pedal drive, and it's like, how big? Like, do you not know how big of an advantage a Mirage drive is in
absolutely.
8 inches of water when they're
Yeah.
just going on
I
down through
mean,
there?
I my best year, I don't fish as many tournaments as I used to, but my best year, I fished like 5 out of 7 tournaments in a Revo with a tackle box that was this big and 3 rods. And I did super well doing that. And, I haven't gotten into it as much, lately, but fishing out of an Outback in a PA now, like simpler is better. Motors, they do not give you that big of an advantage.
That's crazy to me that was that big of a deal down there.
Yeah.
They'll get there though. I mean, like
Well,
you said, we saw it here. I mean, how long did it go on, Jeff, on the freshwater side? 4 or 5 years of every club in the country, arguing back and forth over should you allow motor, and some of them still are against it. But I mean, to me, it's just so much more relaxing and and honestly fun. You can focus a lot more on the
yeah.
fishing aspect of it than just trying to get back to the ramp at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's funny is, Brock, you're saying saltwater's behind, but really kayak fishing and even the tournament side of kayak fishing started in the saltwater
Yeah,
and
that's
came to
true.
the freshwater. So why does it lag behind like that, you think?
I think it's just the bass world, the glitter boats, and I got nothing against them. I love the technology. I'm a huge fan of forward facing sonar. I think it's awesome, for the sport, and it drives me crazy the guys that say, "Oh, ban that stuff," and it's not fishing. I mean, I think it's a cool evolution, of the sport, and you can go either way. You got guys like Drew Gregory who are in a paddle crescent kayak with no electronics, and he's kicking most of our butts. And then you got guys with all the latest and greatest technology who do well too. So it's I'd say it's not the bow, it's the Indian.
I think the forward facing sonar part and that particular argument, I think it helps put pressure on those offshore fish
Mhm.
and make the shallow water fishing better. So
Right,
I
exactly.
hope everybody's sitting out there on those fish.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like fishing with the electronics. We do it for bull reds, down here in the passes. It's so cool seeing a 3 foot long fish on side scan. And I haven't done it with forward facing yet, but it's going to be insane when we get that down there, and watch a 3 foot long fish chase down a rattle trap or something. It's going to be cool.
So we've talked about your fishing here. What do you do in real life? Like, tell us why. Tell us why you're here and giving away gift cards.
Yeah, no kidding. So I've actually had a big change lately. We'll touch on that when we get to
Uh-oh.
it. But yeah, I started Louisiana Custom Kayaks during COVID. I was a sophomore, I think, at LSU. So I kind of started in the backyard and was fixing kayaks, rigging kayaks, and kind of doing that thing, saving a little bit of cash. And it kind of morphed into retail and making my own website, and going down that rabbit hole of website design and marketing and that kind of stuff. And I kind of grew it to have a couple of retail stores or different retail stores, and rigging kayaks, and doing all kinds of builds and stuff just like the Dugout does, which I'm sure a lot of the bass guys are familiar with. And so it's actually kind of taking a turn. I kind of went a different route career wise and got into sales at a place over here in Lafayette. So I don't do as much as the rigging for customers, but at the same time, it's given me a chance to work on my own boat for once and go fishing, which has been a nice little change. So I've been able to hit the water a little bit more, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, in a little bit, but do more content and enjoy kayak fishing and not have to focus on it as a job anymore. So it's kind of a side hustle at this point, but still something I really enjoy and am able to enjoy more now.
I think one of the unique things, like obviously there are a lot of shops that rig boats really well, custom rigging. I love the deck kits, the coordination of the whole thing. But what you do to highlight the rigging is what I feel like really sets you apart on the content side. That stuff is, I mean, you've got a lot of quote viral TikToks and stuff out there. I mean, it's catchy. It turns people's heads. People that wouldn't normally be just searching, I feel like, kayak fishing content. They see that and it makes it look cool. It's not you with some duct tape and a drill out in the yard just trying to feed a line through every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the power of social media. I mean, the thing I'm probably, you could say, most viral on is TikTok, or Tac or whatever Papa said.
Yeah.
But the first video I ever posted on TikTok was a tarpon video. I was fishing with Bryson and Owen down in Florida, and I hooked a tarpon. It came up and jumped, and it was just, for whatever reason, that angle of the video just went crazy viral. Every time I posted it, like the first time was like a couple thousand views, the second time was like 5 million, but it was like wildfire. And I've reposted it since, and it's always done well. But the most common thing was like, I didn't know you could catch a fish like that in a kayak, or what kind of kayak is that? So it just broadcasted kayak fishing into front of so many other people, who, like we post in our Facebook groups, but that doesn't get into the hands of
because
people
we're
who-
used to it. We're used to seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we see it all the time. And a guy sees a 5 foot long silverfish jumping out of the water with a guy in a kayak, and it's wild.
Is this it right here? I'm gonna throw it
Yeah,
up.
there's one version I posted.
That's nasty.
Yeah, so I kind of bring it back when I need to generate some views. I'll bring it back and post it to a new song, and it always does pretty well.
I need to start doing that. I've got a big slow-mo tarpon tail walking vid. I need to throw some different music on that one every now and then.
Yeah,
Recycle,
no doubt.
reuse.
So tell these folks, man, because really if you do any research on growing YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is, the wave is these vertical short form videos, right? That's kind of the juice. So tell folks how you kind of crack the code over there, and some of the tips of the trade to start growing your own stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion on it, and there's Gary V and all these media marketing gurus who have their own spin on it. I mean, the thing I've found is really hammering down and posting often, which with this kind of transition that I'm in right now, I haven't posted as much. I haven't been fishing quite as much. We'll kick that off at Paddlepalooza. I wish I had a motor there, but we'll maybe next year. But that's what I really plan on getting back into, is doing the content and just capturing, honestly, the behind the scenes does so much better than, when you're going to film something for the purpose of, creating content. The behind the scenes of us rigging kayaks in the shop and having a weird catchy song behind it, that always did so much better than like, hey, I'm filming this video for this product, with a specific purpose in mind. So I mean, I'd say don't make your content perfect. People like seeing imperfect, whether it's you talking like you're having a conversation or showing you messing up something and then fixing it. That stuff always resonates better than just the perfect, almost commercial style, videos. Bloopers always do well. A lot of people are like, oh man, that sucked. I screwed that up, and don't post it. And I've had so many videos that I've found that I filmed on accident, or, felt like I messed up. And then I posted them when I was in a low spot and didn't have a lot of content, and they ended up doing better, than a lot of videos that I really tried hard on. So I'd say that's a big thing for sure. Cause I mean, everybody likes to put their best foot forward on social media.
You know what the worst videos are, Ryan? Is the guys that try to create a blooper.
Oh yeah.
Like
you can tell, dude.
The setups, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Even for an old man, I can tell it's fake.
Yeah, it's
stop doing that.
Like, if you're gonna hit a stump with your trolling motor and fall out, do it for real. I don't want
to
kill yourself
leaning
on the motor.
forward in
sell
anticipation.
it better. Come on now.
Yeah. It's got to be real. It's got to be Gene Jensen falling in like
that's exactly what I was thinking of when, when I said that. When you edit we'll stick with the TikTok platform for instance, do you edit on the app? Do you edit it before? Do you time the, like the beat or whatever it is with your video transitions? Tell people a little bit about that. Like, what makes your videos that much more appealing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix of both. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I can spend 30 minutes or an hour editing something on my computer in Adobe and making it perfect and, you know, hitting the beats all right. And that video may get 1,000 views. And then I, you know, film me dropping a fish in the water with some whatever trending music is happening. That'll get 100,000 views, you know? So it's a mix of both. And I think you got to have both, because there's some people who really want to see cinematic, perfect shots. And then there's other people who are just, you know, they enjoy the content. They enjoy seeing you on the water. So I think having a mix of both is good, but you know, you like I said, you don't have to have everything perfect and professionally edited. I think that's like a big kind of barrier to entry, is a lot of people think, oh, I'm not going to post this because it doesn't look like so-and-so posted, but you know, you never get anywhere if you don't post, you know, that first piece of content.
And everybody has a cell phone, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
you don't need a $5,000 camera with,
Mhm.
you know, a big fancy lens or 60 frame per second slow-mo, whatever. Like, you can just get your phone out of your pocket
Yeah.
and make content.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got drones and I've got a Sony A7, which I think is what you have, and
Yep.
GoPros and all that. And I probably have more videos from phone footage, or better videos from phone footage.
It's so much easier, and it's usually a lot more handy. Like, I don't always have my fancy camera laying on the deck of my
Mhm.
kayak when
Yeah, I
something
try not
crazy
to.
happens.
Yeah,
Hopefully not.
yeah, absolutely.
So what do you say to folks that think, oh well, you know, it's too late for me. You know, I didn't get in on TikTok early. YouTube's been around for too long. I can't do this. I mean, I'm just not even going to bother with it. Is it ever too late to try to start creating content on these social channels?
Oh, never. I mean, it's TikTok especially is so random. You know, I've even heard of people making like multiple different accounts and posting the same videos, and one of those accounts will blow up like crazy. So I mean, I don't put that much time into it, you know. It's just something that you just kind of got to start doing, and you'll pick up on the trends and whatever. A lot of times they're dancing trends, but if you put that same music, you know, it's whatever's hopping on the app. That stuff will catch on. So I mean, it's never too late. I mean, and YouTube is kind of the same way. They've seen what TikTok has done with short form, and they've kind of done their own spin on it with the shorts. And I've had, you know, just me dropping fish in the water, releasing them. Those go, you know, crazy viral, and they're really good for growing, you know, your bigger videos too, because it brings more people to the channel.
What do you think is different on the algorithm that TikTok, it seems like your videos are allowed to reach a lot more people. Where
Hmm.
like Instagram and Facebook, you can post something on both platforms, Instagram and Facebook. One of them, it'll have a good reach. The other platform, it seems like 50 people see. Like, I don't, for me, I have trouble understanding like what dictates what they allow, you know, the end user to see. And I wonder if YouTube has a similar deal. I know they do on their bigger videos. I don't know if they reduce the, you know, reduce the, I don't know if you want to say the complexity of the algorithm on the shorts, but that's kind of what I feel like. You know, I don't know if they are allowing it to get out there as much as like TikTok is, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok is so new that, you know, like I said, everybody's got their own theory on everything, and they swear they know they've cracked the code. But I mean, I do feel like TikTok, since they're so new, they want people using their app. So I feel like they push videos more. So, you know, if you get on a platform and you post and it gets 5 million views, you're going to post more on that platform.
Mhm.
So that's probably their way of, you know, driving people to use it. YouTube, I feel like YouTube's more of a long game. Like I do post shorts on YouTube, but like long walkthrough videos, that 10-minute range, those videos, they might not blow up immediately, but I'll go back and open up my, you know, YouTube stuff and see that, oh wow, this video has, you know, 5,000 views. When it first started, it had 50, you know. So YouTube, I'm not an algorithm expert, but I do feel like that's kind of a longer game. You know, if you post good content on there, it'll get in front of the right people and then end up driving it. Rather TikTok, you'll get 10,000 views right out the gate, and then it'll just stop. It'll shut down from there.
Yeah, YouTube is searchable, right? TikTok's not
Mhm.
as, I mean, I guess it is searchable, but people don't usually use it for a search engine. They're just kind of scrolling through and just
Right.
get
Yeah.
thrown in their face. Whereas YouTube's, you know, if it's how to rig your new Outback, they're looking for that, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for that
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Definitely. I mean, the walkthrough videos on YouTube is, in the kayak world and the bass boat world, those are always the highest, you know, viewed, just because people like seeing the rigs and getting ideas. So, that's what I've found, on that platform for my channels.
So from YouTube, Tim Sear, CYR, do you have to be on all platforms? Do you think it's essential?
I'd say no. I mean, there's some people who are on, TikTok and Twitter and Instagram, MySpace, Facebook, like on everything.
Yeah.
And it gets to be a lot. And also I feel like if you post the same thing on every single platform, it's not going to do well. There's some stuff that does better on Instagram and YouTube that's not going to do well on TikTok. So, you can't just blindly, there's, those apps that post your content all on the same, all at the same time, and it just doesn't do well.
Luke is trolling from the res hard. Tim, I'll throw in on that too. I don't think you have to be on all platforms. It all depends on what your goals are. Like if you're trying to do content creation stuff and make it revenue generating, I think you can take the TikTok route. You can take the YouTube route if you're into longer videos. A lot of like if you're looking for like sponsorships and influence type stuff, a lot of what the companies ask for, they'll ask for your Facebook and Instagram straight away. They want to see what you're posting, the quality of content, and the reach that it has. So just kind of figure out what your goals are and adjust accordingly on that.
Yeah, and frankly, I don't like all the platforms. And if you force yourself to do ones that you don't even like posting on or interacting with, then you're not going to do well. I don't think.
And it'll
You know what I
burn
mean?
you out too. I mean, it's honestly the content stuff. There's some guys that are head over heels for it, and that's what they live and breathe. But if you're going out there to film content, it kind of gets old. Like I'll go and set up a GoPro and capture what I capture on most trips because I'm trying to enjoy it too. It's like I kind of took a step back from the business world and want to enjoy kayak fishing more. So I'm not going out there, to always film a video or film content because it'll burn you out. And I mean, it's, I'm here to enjoy fishing and enjoy kayak fishing.
Yeah.
Did you see the newbie 101 question, Jeff?
I got you.
All right.
I think I got
it won't
you.
it won't let me throw up comments, Jeff. I think you turned off my abilities here for some
reason. You've been banned per Dave.
That's what I thought.
So here's a question from YouTube from Chad's Fishing Tales. How do you set up your camera or phone for a good angle to see you fishing? It's hard to see what your camera is seeing when you're a foot or two away from it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes with experience. Some GoPros, have the front screen on them. I know the newer ones do, so you can kind of see what they're filming. But I mean, I would, it takes some filming and kind of messing up, being like, oh, well, I cut my head off in that one, or I can only see the sky, in some videos. Who was that?
Joe Mack.
Who was that?
I didn't see it. It was quick.
He didn't put his full name up there. That's Joe Mack from YouTube.
But yeah, I mean, it comes with experience and just kind of seeing what your camera sees. The GoPro, the newer ones are really easy. You can tap the front screen and kind of see what it's showing. Using a wide angle is super helpful. So I do that even on my phone. Like all the iPhones now have the wide angle feature. And I think it kind of looks cool. It looks different, catches people's eye. But I mean, I use the Yak Attack poles. They got like the boomstick and I think the panfish. So that's what I use. It's just, it's what works for me. I know Railblaza makes one and a couple other companies. As far as something to set up your camera, you can do DIY with PVC. I'm sure there's 100 videos on YouTube about camera setups, on kayaks. So there's a lot of different ways to do it.
Would it be a good thing just to always, if you're going fishing, just always be recording because you don't know what's going to happen out there? I mean, you don't have to be like set out to make a specific video. Just have it on, and maybe you hook up with a crazy tarpon and get 5 million views. You never know.
Right? Yeah.
Well, think about how much crazy stuff happens on the water, like whether it's you losing a fish or you catching a fish that maybe you shouldn't have caught in the first place, and you look around like, did anybody see that? Just keep your camera running, and somebody's going to see it all the time. And you don't have to download all 10 hours or 8 hours or whatever your fishing trip. You can just go in and select out that one little deal. And I know everybody has their own preferences on cameras, but GoPro and the GoPro Quick makes it super easy to go in and grab, screen grabs. You can get still shots off of them really easily. I set mine at like 2.7K recording. That way it's, pretty decent quality as far as screen grabs. You can go in and pull out little clips. You can turn the app on and see what your camera sees. So you were talking about adjusting for what angle you want. Usually I like mine kind of offset over my left shoulder. I cast over my right shoulder so I'm not hitting the camera constantly, because that's exactly what I would do. That's one of my favorite views. I think like a low angle in front of you view is kind of cool, like seeing the fish swinging in the boat in the net, or maybe your facial expression when you break one off or something.
Yeah.
But play around with it, and find what you're comfortable with. Those 360 cameras are big now. I just bought an Insta 360, and that thing is nuts. Like, you can turn it on record and you can pull footage from all the way around the kayak, the boat, whatever it is. Still shots. It's easy to edit with the app on your phone. It's not as crazy as I thought it was going to be. So there's all kinds of options out there. You just got to kind of jump in, and like anything, it takes time to learn and get comfortable with it.
Yeah. This is a question along those lines. Luke, is it better to have a couple different views, like over the shoulder and the moose knuckle view and or lap view?
Like I said, I'm a simple guy. The over the shoulder, is kind of what I run with. I don't, in some cases, if I was going to film a specific piece of content, I might, have a couple of different cameras and different setups and stuff like that. But like, for the most part, like on the tarpon trip, I put that behind my shoulder and ran it, and kind of going back to that real quick. If I didn't have that footage, I would hardly be able to remember that I caught a tarpon. Like, I just blacked out. So, like, I don't remember it jumping. I don't remember any of it. But since I have that footage and was videoing, I can look back on it. And there's a lot of cases of crazy bites, redfish bites on topwater that I've had that I don't remember it in the moment. But when I go back and review that footage, I can see it and know it, everything that happened. So that's the other cool thing. And there's plenty of setups. We might have touched on it, but running external batteries. Yeah. Running, external batteries and videos. The nation's something else.
Yeah. It's its own world, buddy.
Sorry, Brock. We should have.
You gotta have that in any industry. You gotta have those guys to keep it real.
That's what we do here. Keep it real.
It. No, I love it. I'm all about it.
Yeah, so like Brock was saying, though, external batteries and a large enough memory card, you can use the loop recording mode. Luke, I saw your question there. I have gotten into trouble sometimes, like if I don't remember to hit the button in time and it starts recording back over something that I wish I saved. So I just started getting a larger memory card and external power. I think that's the biggest thing if you're going to do multiple views, is just to hit record one time and let it run all day. Sort it out at the end of the day once you get off the water. Or even, some of these cards, I mean, you can run a whole weekend tournament on one card. So that's what I would advise.
Yeah, I think I just got a 256 when I got my new GoPro, and it'll hold like 20 something hours of 4K footage.
Yep.
And the other thing that I've done, like in some cases, I will bring a memory or a external battery and run it all day. But after I catch a fish, I'll stop the video and then start it again. So you're not just editing 10 hours of footage. You have stopping points, and you can go back, 30 seconds or a minute from when you stopped it. And then you've got, your point where you caught the fish.
Over on YouTube, Nick Mayer said, I feel like I'm going to see how bad I am at fishing, recording everything. And he was saying that in a joking manner. But one of the benefits, if you do record all the time, I think, is it's kind of like game tape. If something happens wrong or bad, or you break one off, you can kind of go back and say, what did I do? Did I, horse them too? Did I horse? Sometimes there's no reason, but you can kind of coach yourself up a little bit.
My circle hook video was one of my favorite game tape
moments
that. When I was like, how am I losing all these big fish? That was a circle hook. That's why. priceless memories,
Fishing analytics. And for a small fee, you can mail all your video footage in Ryan, and he will break it down and send you back tips.
I'll break it down. I won't edit it for you.
we need coordinates though too, not just
Heck yeah. I'll get on Tourney X and pull those off.
Don't open that can of worms.
Y'all thought that Roro tournament was for charity. No, he was wrong.
No, it's for my charity. I'm running guide trips on y'all's waypoints now. North Alabama, baby.
Oh, that was the biggest thing over here. When we started doing Tourney X, everybody's like, "Oh, who's judging these tournaments?" We had to get somebody from like New Mexico to judge our tournaments because they were worried about people stealing spots.
Buddy, it's not a joke though. Like that,
Oh my goodness.
those are very founded worries. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
you
I
have
know it.
to. We pay. I mean, for our local club, we'll have a judge. Thank God for Bethany, but she judges a lot of the Tennessee stuff, and she doesn't fish at all. So
Mhm. Yeah.
we either do that or outsource it across the country and trade tournaments. Have judges
Yeah.
from across the way, so people don't have access to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Here's a question for Facebook. Mike Ring. How much time are you spending editing content? That's where the burnout happens for him. And it can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for the short stuff, like if I go fishing and I know I have a couple of good clips that I want to post, I mean, I'll spend 5 minutes, editing. That comes with time, knowing how to work your programs and stuff, and it can be frustrating. You can spend a ton of time on it in the beginning. But for simple stuff, especially social media stuff, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'll edit a fish clip and put it to music on TikTok in 5 minutes or so. The longer stuff, like honestly, a lot of the longer walkthrough videos that I've done, I've got a buddy he's actually on tour with Mark Daniels Jr. right now. So he's a hammer with a camera, and I'll have him come out and we'll knock out a cool walkthrough video in no time. And he works his magic, and it probably takes him 20 minutes to edit something that would have taken me a couple hours. So I mean the really good stuff, honestly, sometimes it's not even me, so
Spoiler
that's
alert,
that's
it's
the
not
truth.
even me.
Yeah, that's the
Outsourced.
truth. And his name's Colin Averett, and if you want him to film a walkthrough video for you, you can hit him up. He's a hammer with a camera, so that's it doesn't take, you don't have to spend all day on it, and a lot of people, they try to make it a job, and it's the whole bro staff thing. We can open that up if we want to, but I mean, it doesn't have to be crazy. 2-year-old videos.
Yeah. There's some guys in the comments talking about the highlight feature. If you catch one, you guys use that on the
Yeah,
GoPro?
I've seen that too. I haven't really, dove into it. To me, the power button's the biggest button on that GoPro, so I just smash it, hit it again, and then keep rolling.
Nate, the GoPro doesn't understand our accents. We're not Canadian and well spoken like yourself.
Oh, that's true too. I've seen it on Christine's videos where she's got to say GoPro stop recording 4 times to get it to work.
Well, she's got that weird kind of almost Yankee, Nebraskan, still kind of Southern hybrid accent. So the GoPro's really confused on that one.
Yeah. No, I've
Almost
I've
Yankee.
seen that.
Don't even know where she's at.
Yeah.
Almost Yankee.
Almost.
Yeah. That's good. Got a
Clip
few more
that, Jeff. Highlight that, Jeff. I'm gonna need that clip
I'm
back.
gonna clip that. That's going on the TikTok later, bro.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Maybe she'll collab us and give us or duet us. Isn't that what they call it over
Yeah,
there? Duet us.
yeah, that's it.
Get us some
Oh,
views.
yeah,
Speaking of, she's huge over there. She got hundreds of thousands of
I
TikTok.
know.
Oh, yeah.
My lord.
Absolutely.
They follow her in real life. You saw her at the Classic. It's like the Pied
I
Piper,
know.
a bunch of creepy old men just going down the hall there.
That's all right. She's our almost redneck Yankee queen. Over there.
Almost.
All right, let's see. How come Levi Schneider on Facebook? How come no one runs a GoPro on their hat so we can see everything the anglers are looking at? Not stable enough. I know Brandon Polinick used to video
Tag
that.
Rex Del Rey. He had
Oh,
the
yeah.
action hat.
Action
baby.
hat.
It had
Yeah.
it had a GoPro mount built into like a foam frame inside the. I've got one sitting in my garage somewhere.
Yeah. No, I
It's
got
still
one
around.
too. Rex is an OG. When I
Yeah.
dude, when I first started kayak fishing, he was rigging kayaks and putting a motor on his KC. He was one of the first to do that. So he's a cool dude. He's got the action hat. I don't know. Like I said, I like to just kind of set something up behind me and press record. It is a cool. Go ahead.
It's kind of uncomfortable. Like that's what I
Yeah.
didn't like about it. It was
It can be
uncomfortable. Extra
kinda-
weight on your head.
kind of cumbersome, and you pedal past some people and they're like, what's that thing on your head? And it's kind of like, oh, just a GoPro. filming for my 10 followers.
I also don't know how that would work for external power all day. You know how you how you.
Yeah, I've seen
do
some
it.
people rig a cord and
Put
it
a
gets all
pro
up
guide right here on the bill, and then put
there.
the.
There you go.
Strap one to the back of your head.
Talking about a
That'd be
headache.
pretty slick.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be all right.
No doubt. I mean, I kind of set it up and record. But it's, some guys they do that. The guys who do a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that, they do the hat cams.
I do like the angle that the hat cam gives you, because if something happens over here off off your view, you turn your head and look at it, and you really get a lot better tracking, I guess, of the action. I don't like that, Jeff. I know you post some of these videos. I don't like the chesty view where it's just like you're looking at the reel.
Yeah.
And then you see a fish maybe behind it over there. I'm like, God dang it, this is awful.
Yeah. Which those are kind of like behind the scenes kind of things. And, it's cool to sprinkle that in too. And, it is cool to show like a different angle. Like a few things I've done that have caught on pretty well is like drone angles, and stuff that people don't see, every day. Everybody's got a GoPro behind them or, holding a fish in front of a camera. But when you can sprinkle stuff like that in, it typically, catches people's eye.
Drone footage is clutch, but you have to be real careful with a drone over water. Jay Wallen posted a clip. Was it Santee, Jeff, where that clip was from? He about put her in the drink there. I've crashed one in the woods filming Jordan Lee because it was heading toward the water, and I was like, I'm more likely to get it off the side of this mountain than I am out of the water. So.
Oh, I crashed one at Darbone last winter, I think. I was up there filming with for MLF and
Randy. Come on, man.
Dude, he went straight for the throat.
Well, lower, but still.
The fupa. Anyway.
Oh, no.
Golly.
Have y'all ever tried butane lighter fluid? From Zippo. Dang.
Hey, with Darbone, go ahead, Brock. You're filming at Darbone with the drone.
Yeah, I was up there with the Rattle Trap guys, and we were filming Blast Off, and it was like 20-something degrees, freezing cold. I'm flying my drone, my fingers are shaking, the camera's just not working. But I'm following Cliff Crochet, and I'm like, man, this is the best shot I've ever gotten with in my life. He's taking off, and he's perfect in frame, and I just see tree branches and then black. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. There was one island out there, and I smoked the tallest tree in it. And I ended up, somebody drove me out there, and I got in the water and found the drone, and we got the footage off of it. But I've crashed them, no doubt.
We were filming that Tennessee Trailers deal last spring, and I was way out by the road, and I followed my truck in the trailer all the way back to this boat ramp. It's super cold. Well, I tried to land it on this little boat dock, but my screen went blank on my cell phone, and all I saw was the drone hitting this frozen boat dock, and that was it. That's where it went blank, and I was like, oh God, the drone's gone. Like, all the footage is gone. Everything's gone. I go over there. I get Steve-O to come pick me up. We're looking in the water, looking everywhere, and I was like, this is insane. Where could it have gone? All of a sudden, it turns back on. It flew back home and landed on the white line on the side of the highway with car. I'll turn it on. All I see are cars like this far in front of the camera lens. And I was like, God, like, hurry up, get to the highway. I hate it, man.
Garrett Clark threw in the comment, you also got to watch out for the FAA is now cracking down on the drone people.
That's only in Cali, dude.
You got a legit pilot's license, Brock?
Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Do not answer that.
Let's go to another topic.
Yeah. Don't answer that.
I don't fly it above like 25 feet, like they say. Whatever the limit is.
Well, keep it low and don't sell the footage.
And it's always in sight. It's got to be in sight of you.
In sight.
You can't see a mile, so don't fly it that far.
Yeah, don't fall for that stuff.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like it. We got a hello from Harrison, Arkansas. Stephen Robertson.
What's up?
Good to hear from you from Harrison, Arkansas. My son played basketball for North Ark for a while, Stephen. How about that?
You got any ducks up there? I might
not in Harrison. You got to go further east and south.
Okay. Come out to Jonesboro. Come out to Jonesboro. You can hunt with me and Mr. Frank.
I'm tired of shooting these Louisiana birds that have been shot 500 times by the time they get to us.
You can hunt a heated with fresh meal private blind with me, or you can go out there with Cody Milton and traipse around the public woods with 8,000 boats lined up in the morning.
I'll do either. I'm mad at them.
Yeah, I like it.
We got a few more questions here. Stevie G on YouTube says, any suggestions on simple but effective editing software? Like Brock said, just hire it out. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, no doubt. For the good stuff.
I'll be honest with you, man. Ryan Van Tyne mentioned it in the comments earlier. That CapCut app,
Mhm.
it's awesome. I mean, it really is awesome. And now with the connectivity that most action cameras have to your phone, I use that probably 99% of the time, unless I'm trying to do like a real legit video where I have to download off my big camera. I edit most everything on my cell phone. What about you,
Yeah.
Brock?
Yeah, I mean, CapCut is and it's cool because they kind of pair up the trends that are happening on TikTok, so it's super easy to edit and like there's a lot of stuff that looks really really good that takes 20 seconds in CapCut, to pair up and sync with the music. Everybody knows about Premiere, and that's like a lot of the really good stuff that I've done and that my buddy Colin has done has been on Premiere. But Adobe has another program called Rush, and it's like a really, really simplified Premiere. It's got all the basic stuff you need to clip and input music and all that stuff and edit. But it's very, very simple. So it's easy to understand. I think you do have to pay for it. I'm not aware of any free
If
programs.
it's Adobe, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, there used like when I first started, there were a couple of free options, but now there's paywalls behind everything these days. But yeah, the Adobe Rush is a really good one that I know a lot of people don't use.
If you use Apple products, Final Cut Pro is
Yeah,
really
that's
good
another good
too.
one.
I have both. I have a PC with Adobe and I have Final Cut. I use Final Cut probably 10 to 1 because it's for me, it's so much faster. Like it's just,
Mhm.
it's fewer options though. That's the thing is like you can't, as far as pulling in presets and like color correction files and stuff, that's a lot easier on Adobe. You can do a lot more with the footage, but Final Cut is super fast if you got a Mac.
I'm more of a traditionalist. I use Windows Movie Maker, Ryan. That's what I do.
Okay.
No,
Okay. Throwback, baby. I like that.
I'm just playing. I do not
Proud
do that.
of you, Jeff.
I do not do that.
Do you have like the original Apple computers, Oregon Trail? Like what are you
Yeah,
what are you
Commodore
playing over there?
64 is what I'm rolling with over here.
All right. All
I don't
right.
even know what that is.
Takes a while. Takes a
He
while to
said, I don't
edit.
know what that is.
It
That
comes
was
out.
before my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what an Atari is? That's
I
when
do
Jeff
know
got his
that. Yep.
computer. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, where my
Nintendo 64. I know about that stuff, but I don't
where
know
my
what it
80s
is.
and 90s people at? Come on, help me out here. There we
Shoot,
go.
I'm a 90s baby. I'm not 2000.
I'm talking about people
Jesse,
that
you
were
can
alive and
throw
graduated high
throw
school.
music on there, Jesse. Yes. You can pull music off CapCut. It's got a full selection of music. You can turn the volume down on your clips. It even has beeps, so you can cover up the foul language that you
There
use
you
when you
go.
fish.
That's right.
It's KBN approved right there.
That's right. This is a shop question for you, or customs question. Dan asked, "Are you cutting that marine mat in house, or is it outsourced?"
Yeah, so we kind of have two ways to do it. I do have a guy like right here in Baton Rouge who cuts some of my kits for me, and then I do have a lot of stuff that runs through Marine Mat, which it's there's Marine Mat dealers sprinkled throughout the country. There's a couple of shops that are set up as them. I know Dugout works with Marine Mat as well. So some people get it directly from Marine Mat, and then others have third party cutters who happen to be local. That's what we are lucky enough to have in Baton Rouge.
But y'all got a lot of duck boat builders and stuff down
Mhm.
there too that use a lot of
Yeah.
the marine mat type decking
Yeah,
material.
gator tracks. That's we got duck boats on every corner with mud
Oh,
motors
yeah.
and all that. So yeah, gator tracks is a big one. Another, I don't think they haven't really done kayaks, but what's that place around Lafayette? Southern Cooler Cove. They do a
Yeah.
lot of big boats. I know they work with gator tracks. They do racing boats. They do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Nicholas, you can get a kit for the NAR. You may have to cut out the template yourself. So that's how a lot of these, if they don't have the boat on hand, you can actually cut out a template and send it to them, and they'll make you the kit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them come out great. Depends on how
Depends on how steady your hand is.
Pay
Kid.
attention to detail.
Yeah, man. This is a question for Ryan. Any more of those leather koozies
Heath,
left?
yes, I do have some leather koozies on hand.
There we go. This is from Bottom Line Outdoors on YouTube. New to kayak tournament fishing. Any suggestions on storage configuration options for gear? You talking salt or fresh? I guess it's about the same. I don't know. It seems like less stuff gets hauled around on the saltwater yaks, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
That's what I try to do. And like I said earlier, my best tournaments I've fished, have been in a Revo with a small tackle box, keeping it simple. And I try to do that. And when I go in the bass world, like when I fish for the Hobie BOS, I try to keep it simple. And then I look back there and there's 10 boxes and 100 bags of plastics. So, bass, I feel like you bring more rods and more tackle in general. But there's a lot of good options, with the new Yak Attack crate, Hobie H crates. I like to keep things on the boat as much as I can, meaning like when I go to move spots, I don't have to take a crate out and disassemble my whole kayak before I load it up and put it on the trailer or in the truck. So I store a lot of stuff inside my kayak in hatches. Or if I do a crate, it's on there. It's strapped down super well so I can travel with it like that.
That's what I was gonna say. I like having a crate strapped down, a black pack. I got the new black pack, which has the rod holders, attached to it. Keep it strapped down. It has really firm latches, so you can keep your boxes in there. I have a one objective, like the underseat storage thing, which will hold 4 3700s. That's great. And then the Hobie hatch. I put the bucket in there instead of the 2 little Plano boxes. The bucket, I've just got random baits in, my keys, my wallet, anything I don't want to lose if I'm going to turn my boat upside down.
Yeah, I switched to a PA 14 this year. I've always been an Outback or Revo, and I had a Lynx. My favorite thing about that boat is horizontal rod storage.
Oh yeah,
I can launch my kayak in 30 seconds now, rather than grabbing my rods out of the truck and going back and forth, setting things up. It is when we have some Roadrunner tournaments like Paddlepalooza, it's gonna be awesome.
I think they should make horizontal rod storage illegal in that tournament too.
Probably
seems like too big of an advantage.
We'll go probably kayaks in general, just bank fish.
Yeah, actually, that's illegal. Well, you can bank fish.
Actually, that's illegal.
Well, you can bank fish, but your kayak has to be touching the water. It has to be launched.
You're not too far behind bass fishing then.
That's solid.
Yeah. A couple of guys, we had some hurricane tournaments, and they won the tournament fishing off the bank, and they were like, "Oh, you can't do that. You got to put your kayak in the water."
Heck yeah, Heath, slide my DMs, and I'll get you set up with a koozie, man.
Getting them DMs.
Get in there.
DMs. All right. Well, I'll try to filter some more questions, but we're getting up against it, so we want to make sure we get to our giveaways of the night. Since we have 2, we make sure we have time to do that.
Yeah.
So let me share my screen again here. First up, we're going to do the Louisiana Custom Kayaks gift card giveaway. Thank you, Brock, for providing that to us. And of course, we'll use the hashtag LA Custom Kayaks, LA for Louisiana. Don't get it twisted.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
We don't care nothing about California.
Throw that in the comments. Hashtag Louisiana Custom Kayaks, LA Custom Kayaks, and we will start collecting them. Give you about 30 to 60 seconds, and we'll pick a winner for that, and then we'll do the Seaguar giveaway.
Luke, we have Chase Tanner working hard on the new Kayak Bass Nation designs for all the memorabilia that was F this lake. So that'll be hitting stores soon. And by working hard, I mean he's ignored me all day. So hopefully we'll get that moving and have some hats, koozies, stickers, and shirts available. And these hats that Jeff and I have on our heads are still available at whatever that dropship link was that we posted 2 months ago. So I'll repost that if anybody wants one of these hats. Getting great reviews on them. Every bus stop I go by is just, whistles and nickels flying at me.
Yeah, I need one of those. Does every guest get one?
Yeah. No.
Not every guest. They don't. Not every guest, but you do.
We'll get you one.
You do. All right. All right. We're up to 4. We got like 85 people watching the live stream, but there's only 43 entries. So some people you're slipping. You're lacking.
No, Joe, you don't get Revos. You get a $50 gift card, but you have to drive to Louisiana to spend it in person at Brock's house.
That's right.
That's the only way this is redeemable. Wow. Nate Conley's going to drive down from Canada to spend this $50.
We'll take him fishing.
Hey, look, Jennifer, Mike Blizzard, you put a space between the hashtag. I don't know if that's a capture or not.
Oh, man.
And I need to know if this is Jennifer or Mike or both. We can only give you one gift card. Sorry.
At least you got them out. They'll fix it.
Yeah, hurry up. Give you a few more seconds here. We're doing pick.
Hurry up.
Jeff,
it's us.
2 more.
Clock is ticking.
We want to get across 50.
While we're waiting, I just want to say, Brock, you look like a clean, shaven Jordan Marshall. Like I feel like you're
Yeah.
what Jordan. Yeah, you're what Jordan Marshall could be if he.
I
if he
did
kept himself
rock a
up.
mullet. He's got some long hair.
Oh,
doesn't he?
Marshall's got it now.
Yeah.
Marshall's
Okay.
got that East
We're thinking
Tennessee
about the same
flavor.
guy. I was rocking a mullet a couple years ago. Girlfriend was not happy at all about it, but it looked good.
None of his have been either. That's why he's single. So
Hey, I still
his
got
DMs
mine.
are also open.
You know what's
I cut
crazy? Now that I'm sitting here listening to Brock, he kind of sounds like Jordan.
He does. That's what I'm
Weird.
saying. Like I
Yeah.
feel like this is Marshall's successful alter ego. Just kidding. Love you, Marshall.
Hey, Jordan's up in the short videos and live stuff. I see him.
Yeah,
doing
He's
stuff
getting
over
there. He's getting
People
there.
are on that-
Marshall's
that
hilarious. If he'll just put
content.
himself out there more, like
that's
Marshall
the
is
biggest thing.
hilarious.
Like I've gone out with Cliff Crochet, and I'm like, dude, if you captured this personality, it would be insane. That's like Gerald Swindle. He's so good at the content because he's just him.
Yeah. OG man is like, and he's on all the time. Like
Yeah.
that
Never
personality
stops.
does not sleep. Like that's
Yeah.
it.
Like then that's why he's like he doesn't have to catch him. He's gonna get a check no matter what from that personality.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tell you what I love about tonight's show is I got a lot of clips to cut up.
Yeah. this one's gonna turn out some juice here.
You're gonna
boys.
make us some TikTok videos out of this one. Thank you, bro.
There's content.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna draw for the custom kayak, Louisiana Custom Kayaks, $50 gift card. Here we go. My money's on Johnny Maddox.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shut
what?
up, Jeff.
Rigged.
Your ticker's broken or something, man.
Man.
Dude,
Is this the third or fourth time?
this is the
he's
third
won?
victory. Third victory for Johnny.
Bro.
I don't know what to say about it.
Hey, when you're hot, you're hot.
When you're hot, you're hot.
This is insane.
That's awesome.
Johnny. All right,
Wow.
so Johnny, email kayakbassnation@gmail.com and I'll hook you up.
Man.
This is terrible. Honestly,
But we have another giveaway coming at you. Don't worry, y'all. Let me get this one queued up. Did I spell Seaguar right? Is the U before the A, Ryan?
sure. Sure it is. What is? I mean, I don't know. Is this a spelling bee? Can you use
I
that in
don't
a
know,
sentence?
man.
What's the language of origin?
All right,
Yeah, that's
Johnny,
it.
do not put this hashtag in the comments.
Yeah, Johnny, do
Everybody else, we're going to give away some lines. So throw that hashtag Seaguar in the comments, and we
That's
got you.
What's your pick? Who you got? I want to hear it.
I don't know, man. Johnny, he's making a part-time income off KBN giveaways.
I know, complaining about not winning a fishing tournament. He's made $2,000 off these stupid giveaways.
Dude, you get Francis Tran in here, he'll sweep the whole thing.
He's across the pond right now, isn't he? He was bouncing around.
Dude,
He was posting some stuff from Korea the other day. I thought we was going catfishing, and I look up and he's over in Korea.
World traveler.
I know he's too fancy.
He's a good dude.
He's hilarious. Golly, that boy's a fool. I like
Dude,
him.
like the first kayak I ever raffled off, I was like, don't let it be Francis, because he just won raffles at our last tournament, and sure enough, he wins it. I'm like, dude, get out of here.
He's lucky. He's a good fisherman too.
He is. He's coming on that bass scene for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's taking some money over here.
I normally take his money in the salt world, but he can have it in the bass.
Mike Fink, he cracked the code. Just put hashtag and it gets it all, I think.
Look at that. He's probably got 10 of those entries.
Red label. You
Red
got to
label.
come on, Clifton. Always got to be
Clifton is
anti-establishment over there.
Yep, he's so rich in life. He don't even need to win. Ain't that right,
No,
Cliff?
no, he doesn't. All right, so here we go. We're going to draw for the line. What are we giving? Tactex, Brady said?
Yeah, that's what they told me.
All right. Here we go. Da-da-da-da. Who's it going to be?
I'm scared to know.
Joseph Parks.
There we go. There's us a new name on there. Thank you, Joseph, for winning that.
Joe Park. He looks like Robert Murphy in the picture. I wonder if it's a burner.
Could be.
Could
Could
be.
be.
King. I don't know. There we go. That's our winners. Joseph Parks.
Boy.
Sliding Ryan's DMs once again.
What? Please, everyone, hurry.
Getting those DMs. Man, what a show. That was fun.
That was fun. That was a good one. I
Absolutely.
knew it would be. You didn't disappoint, Brock. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it.
You saved us. For some reason, Jeff and I just really took it easy today, and we didn't even think about who was going to be on the show till like 3 or 4 p.m. Like, we
All
probably
good.
should get a guest.
No worries at all.
We reached out into our vast network, and there Brock was ready to help us out. So
That's it.
you're the man.
Not at all.
Appreciate you, Brock. Where can people follow you, find you, whatever on socials? Of course,
Yeah,
TikTok and YouTube, everywhere else.
Yeah, most of it's LA Custom Kayaks. I think YouTube might be Louisiana spelled out. But yeah, that's LA Custom Kayaks at gmail.com is the email. LACustomKayaks.com is the website. That's where you can find, most of the stuff we've done in the past and marine mats and builds and all that kind of cool stuff. It'll probably transition more into, me fishing as I get to be on the water a little bit more, which I'm excited about. Got me a big boy job, if you want to say that, in sales. Probably along the same lines of Ryan,
Don't do
working
it,
the
brother.
sales gig.
Don't do it, man. Enjoy your life, kid. Don't do
That's
it.
which is fun. I like it, fast paced, and I get to fish as well. So absolutely. But yeah, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are the main. I stay off of Twitter for the most part.
Jeff's our designated Twitterer here.
I'm the tweeter.
He
Yeah.
tweets.
It's just so many words. I like videos.
Yeah.
Facts. Visual learner.
Right. Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, we're gonna let you slide out here tonight. Thanks once again for taking time.
Thank y'all. And
Thanks for
come
coming on, man.
I know Ryan's planning on coming, but Jeff, you need to get down here and
Oh yeah,
catch some real fish. Get you on
I'm
some
down.
big fish.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right. See you, man.
Oh man, Brock Miller.
That was good. I like him.
Hats off to
Good
Brock.
guy. Good guy.
What a guy. What a guy. Even as, like I said, you could tell he was going to be successful when I met him as a real young kid, coming out of high school, almost out of high school. Mix it up with all the adults. Was so helpful to me as just some guy he didn't even know, and everybody around there. Just a great guy. So he's going to be successful in that sales gig and whatever he does.
Oh yeah, he's a hustler, man.
Yeah, like I said, the Bizarro Jordan Marshall. Jordan?
How crazy is that? They really are like very similar in look and sound. I know you didn't know Marshall before the beard and the mullet and stuff, but that was the 22-year-old kid that showed up and started fishing with us I guess Marshall was probably 20 back then, 19 or 20. He was young when he started fishing with us.
Yeah, now he looks like he's 50 and he's what, 28?
Well, he's got some miles on him now. He hung in there.
Yeah, no, that was fun, man. That was good. We need to do more of that in between the tournament stuff, bring in content creators and some of those guys and talk about this kind of stuff.
For sure.
It's good. What else we got before we wrap it up, man?
I think that's it. Do we have anything else coming? I mean, obviously Hartwell this weekend, if anybody's out there, we have something I'm really excited about. And I don't know if he knows what he's getting into. Tim Isaacs is staying in our house with us for this tournament. So if you thought Tim was grouchy before, catch him at Saturday morning at the ramp and see how Friday night was.
Yeah, good stuff. There you go. Well, good luck. I'll be following that from afar. I won't see you on the road until Kentucky Lake, probably, if you're going to be there. So
I'm coming. Dang.
Yep.
All
We'll
right.
be there. We'll be there. All right, man.
Sounds good. We'll see y'all.